Call the regular scheduled April council meeting to order. I want to start with welcoming all of our guests and citizens that's here in person, and then everyone that's joining us online via our social media pages. We'll open up with prayer followed by a pledge. Mr. Woods, if you mind, lead us in prayer.
Let's stand. Our Father, our God, again, we thank you now for being so good, so kind, and so gracious to us. We thank you again for allowing us to assemble in this place. God, we pray again for your spirit. We pray for your guidance. And most of all, God, we just lift the marriage tonight. We lift the family, even in the time of bereavement. God, we know that you're a good God and you're an awesome God. This we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Face the flag with me. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you would, call the roll, Ms. Clerk.
Mr. Brown. Mr. Golden.
Here.
Mr. Lau. Here. Mr. McKinney.
Here.
Ms. Miller. Here. Mr. A. Here. Mr. Williams. Here. Mr. Woods.
All right, our Councilman Brown did call. He had something to come up that he wasn't able to be here. So, but he did call and let me know, so, as well as our attorney. But he said if we needed anything, just to let him know. So, we'll move on to the approval of the minutes from our March meeting. Is there a motion that those, if there's no corrections or changes to those minutes, is there a motion we approve them?
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Woods. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Williams. If you would, cast your votes. That's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna start pushing this button for you. Suzanne?
I got it. I did, didn't I? I thought my
I'll tell you, it's not gonna
You switched with me. That's what it is.
Motion carried. Under my report, I want to say thank you to everyone that came out and supported our charity ball on Saturday. Had a good time and for a good cause. So thank you everyone, that all the staff and everyone that helped, and the council members that were able to attend. Also want to thank you guys. There was a lot of council members and people reached out and prayers for our family and the loss of my grandmother. So really appreciate that. Thank y'all so much for that. This month, with there's a lot of things going on this month, but one is autism awareness this month. I had a date set for the 20th to do that. I forgot there was the spring fling was going on, but I am going to do an all-inclusive day for autistic kids and people that's been affected by autism. My youngest boy is autistic, and it means the world to me, but I want to make sure we do something to recognize those families affected by it. So I'll let y'all know the date and the time, but we'll do a proclamation at that event. Moving on to next thing is Blue and Green Day in the Mid-South, and I don't know if she was able to come, but I do have oh, what's up? Hey, we do have a proclamation here to recognize organ donors here. So I'll read this here. Proclamation for Blue and Green Day in the Mid-South. Whereas every year National Donate Life observes Blue and Green Day to amplify the importance of registering as an organ and tissue donor, and encourage the public to wear blue and green to raise awareness. And whereas more than 100,000 Americans, including 4,000 in the Mid-South area, are currently on the National Transplant List waiting list. And whereas another person is added to the waiting list every 9 minutes, and on average 17 people die every day because the organs they need are not donated in time. And whereas we can do our part to save lives by educating and encouraging our peers and loved ones to register as an organ and tissue donor. And whereas the City of Bolivar supports National Donate Life and Mid-South Transplant Foundation and its efforts to bring new life to men, women, and children in need of life-saving organs and tissue transplants. And whereas we hold those that have saved lives through their gift of donation in the highest regard and are grateful for their selflessness. And now, therefore, I, Julian McTizick, Sr., Mayor of the City of Bolivar, do hereby proclaim this 12th day of April 24th, in honor of our Blue and Green Day, in Hardeman County in the city of Bolivar, and thus encourage our residents to promote the importance of organ and tissue donation. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause thee affix the seal of the city of Bolivar, Tennessee, April 2024. So our little friend and family here, y'all come up and tell us Harrison's story. I didn't even know you was gonna be here.
I would be lying if I said I wasn't nervous. We were kind of put on the spot last minute, but I do take any opportunity to tell his story. And he was born. We were.
We're gonna do that for you in a minute. Gotcha.
He was diagnosed when I was pregnant. He was diagnosed with hypoplastic left heart, or he was born with half a heart. And we knew that he would need 3 life-saving, if not more, surgeries. So he was born in March of 2021. 2021. He just celebrated his 3rd birthday last week. He around 3 months old. We went to the doctor's office and he was blue whenever I got him out of his carrier, and within just a matter of 30 seconds they had him hooked up to machines galore and oxygen, and they put us in the hospital, and we were there until March of the next year. But in August he was listed for a heart transplant, and we were told that it was something he may need eventually, but you don't ever think that that's something your baby's going to have.
Man.
And so in August we were listed, and he was on a life-saving machine from August until January of 2022 or 2021 when he was 2022. I'm sorry, when he received his heart. And you know, they told us the whole time that the list is, you know, so long, and there's no way we can know, you know, if there was a way we could know, we'd know exactly when it was going to happen, you know. And we waited, and you just kind of envision, you know, where you'll be or what you'll be doing or how you'll get that call, and nobody can prepare you for them to call you and tell you that they have a heart for your baby.
But God.
And you know, I think about the family that had to, you know, I told them the whole time that I felt like somebody was having to lose their baby for me to be able to keep mine. And, you know, they told me you can't think of it that way. You have to think of it as though you're taking advantage of something that would have happened anyway. And so on January 21st, we got the call that they had a heart, and he went to the operating room the next day, and he received his life-saving organ. You know, and he's thriving now. He's had strokes. He's been on life support 3 or 4 times, and you know, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for our donor family. And there's no way that we can there's no way that we can ever say thank you, that we can ever repay, but our goal is to spread awareness and to, you know, to spread awareness about the Donate Life organization. And I was a nurse.
Them, so many parents doesn't get the opportunity to spend it with their youngin. You know, we spent our first Christmas in the hospital with him, and no parent should have to do that. And they asked us to do this, and I really wasn't going to be the one to talk. I was going to let her do it, but sometimes 2 voices are better than 1, and 100 voices are better than none. And if we can do anything to say anything about donating your tissues or your organs, it's more than just that. You know, a lot of people say, well, you know, I want my family to go to the grave with it, and that's their choice. But if I could recommend anything, it would be that somebody would step up and say, you know what, I can save people with my grief. And that's the main thing to look at. You know, it's not that we're asking anybody to support anything that they don't want to or that they don't believe in, but it does make a difference in the long run. You know, we would never be here in front of y'all if it wasn't for that. So,
Amen.
you know, we give our glory to God, and we give it to the donor family that was nice enough and selfish enough that, you know, we hate that they had to go through a loss and grief, but we gained so much from it. And, you know, like she said, we'll never be thankful enough for that. But if I could say anything, it'd be that we'd really appreciate if you'd consider donating life.
That's, you know, and I was a nurse before I had him, and I had that little red heart on my license, and it never, you know, I just, every time I went, they said, do you want to be an organ donor? Sure, you know, and it never really crossed my mind how important that truly is. And so Friday is Blue and Green Day, and I know Miss Wanda wanted to be here, but she couldn't. She's having some tests done today, and so we do appreciate any of the yard signs that anybody buys, or wearing blue and green, you know, lighten up your businesses, bows, whatever you can do to spread awareness, because I don't think a lot of people do realize how important that truly is until you do hear it firsthand. So we do appreciate y'all letting us be here today. He's all boy, and we are so thankful. Without our donor family, we wouldn't get to live in his joy every day. So we are very thankful.
Hey, we're gonna clap with you. Ready for us to clap back? Hey, that's what I'm talking about. All of us. Hey, let's take a picture. You stick around, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you later, man. I guess I should have warned y'all for the meeting. There's gonna be a whole lot of tear jerking going on tonight. So we got quite a few more. Hold on. Carl Perkins, Miss Monica is here somewhere. Oh, come on up, Miss Monica. Burkine was covering you up. I couldn't see you.
Slide on top, Bert.
Well, Miss Monica is here, and they do a proclamation every year for child abuse at Carl Perkins Center. I wasn't able to make the signing. That was the day my grandmother passed, so I wasn't able to be there. But I want her to come today and talk about what they do at Carl Perkins and just share the good news, that the things that they do to help kids out there. So, Ms. Monica, if you would, you can take the floor.
If you don't know, we have there's a center here in Bolivar. It's located at 149 Tennessee Street, and we serve children that have been victims of physical or sexual abuse. Just a couple of stats. 1 in 10 children will be sexually abused by the time they turn 18. That's boys and girls. 9 out of 10 of those children will never tell. And between 70 and 90% of those alleged offenders are somebody the kid knows and loves. When I was in school 100 years ago, they spent tons and tons of money on stranger danger. But now, that's not the case. I mean, there's some stranger, but most of the time it's somebody the kid knows and loves. So we work with those children. We provide therapy. I have a therapist, a part-time therapist. She works Chester and Hardeman County. She's here 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. We provide trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy, which research shows that's the best therapy for any person that has been a victim of some kind of trauma. They use it with soldiers as well. Works very well with adults and children. We do forensic interviews, and we have a forensic interviewer that covers 5 counties. We have a center in 21 counties. So one forensic interviewer can't do that. So we have like 5 forensic interviewers, and they kind of each cover a judicial district. So they come to the center. The child only tells their story one time. So you have law enforcement there, the Department of Children's Services there. Nobody else is observing. That child tells their story in their own words. A forensic interview is a conversation with a child that is designed to elicit corroboration or to refute any kind of allegation of abuse. So that kid tells their story. They're in their own words. Nobody else is in. The only person in the room is the forensic interviewer and the child. There's an observation room where law enforcement and DCS observe. No parents, nobody else observes. So that child can tell their story in their own way. before that interview starts, we have a victim advocate that meets that child at the door of the center, gives the child a tour, lets them know about the observation room, introduces them to the forensic interviewer, and lets them know who's observing in the other room, points out the cameras and the microphones, and tells them what's going to happen. When that forensic interviewer takes that child back to the interview room, the non-offending caregiver is present. That victim advocate sits with that parent, talks to that parent, is there for that parent, gives them all kind of information. If there is a disclosure, if that child comes into that interview and they're ready to tell their story, they tell their story, then referrals are made on the spot for therapy, and that therapy begins as soon as possible. So we do the therapy. We have victim advocates. That victim advocate follows that family from when they walk through the door until it goes to court. So they take that child. Can you imagine your baby sitting on the stand and testifying? So they follow that child. They take the child. They do mock courtroom prep. They do courtroom prep where that child sits on the stand. The whole process is explained to them, and they follow them all the way through that court process. Now, we know that lots of times it never makes it to court, but those cases that are prosecutable, that victim advocate is with that family the whole way. They're with that non-offending caregiver, providing support for them. Lots of times research has shown that lots of times when these mamas of these children bring these children for the interviews, they disclose to the victim advocate their own sexual abuse, and they've never told anybody before. So we try to help that caregiver deal with their own abuse, as well as to help them cope and deal with and be supportive of that child as well. We teach parenting classes. I teach the parenting classes. I'm in the prison twice a week. I have 55 prisoners that are taking the parenting class right now. And then I do individuals as well. If the Department of Children's Services refers a family for parenting, they contact me and I'll set something up for them. I've also been doing a group in the Women's Warrior Center for those ladies as well. And those, we don't charge for any of our services. They're all free. Last year in 22-23, we served 261 individuals in Hardeman County. 132 of those were adults, 129 were children, and there were 129 families that came through our doors last year.
Well, thank you guys for what y'all do, and Ms. Martha's involved in the community. I think Chris and Suzanne's on the board.
Suzanne, and then Jennifer's out there too.
Well, yeah, Ms. Burking's out there. But thank you guys for what you do, and we really appreciate what you do for our community. And if there's anything we can do to help you, you have our support 100%. Thank you, Ms. Martha. You're gonna do yours in your report. Okay. All right. Next, we'll move on to public comments. Is there anyone? Okay. Standing committee reports. Under electric, BEA met on the 25th for the regular meeting, awarded the lawn care contract to Foreman Lawn and Landscaping, approved the April 1st, 2024 rate increase of 0.9%. This will equal a $2 per month increase to a customer's bill. An increase was needed to deal with the increased cost of materials. The fiber update is 40% take rate, which a total of 3,774 customers. Pleased to report for BEA. Moving on to utilities. Mr. Knuckles.
Good evening, Council Mayor.
Good evening.
My report tonight is the Utility Board met April 3rd. We had received our first payment, a marketing assistance program, $11,592. We get 2 draws a year. That's for the funds are used for the public awareness for the 811 program and different functions that I can sponsor to get our name out. Call 811 before you dig. The utility department also received their annual payment from utility service for advertisements for $43,853. That's for the LTE antennas up here on the tank. And we get that yearly. And the consumer price index, which it was voted on and became effective in July 2016 by the board. And they suggest every year what we should do nationwide, and they're suggesting that we go up 3.4% on our water and sewer rates. The board approved that unanimously. What that boils down to, on the minimum, it's roughly, you're gonna see a difference of like 59 cents on your utility bill, on your water and your sewer. And we take their advice, because instead of doing it 30% at one time, you do it 3 and step up every year, because you've got to increase every year. It's just like raising taxes. Nobody wants to raise taxes, but people's got to realize if you don't have any revenue and everything's going up, you've got to keep up with today's society. And I think last year was 6-something%, and I think that's a reasonable percent, and the board voted on it. So it's not going to be that devastating far as on all of our utility bills. And also, they were wanting to do the solid waste too. I think the mayor, you know, since you increased it, we're not going to do that, right?
Yeah, when we passed, we all remember the last sanitation rate thing we did, we put in there that we would increase it, but with the consumer price index. But we just put those rates in effect, so I just told them not to change the sanitation rates.
Yeah.
Wait till we do a full calendar year and start that July 1. So those sanitation rates will just stay the same.
And also, we had to replace the fence around the water tank over here on Lake Street. That's complete. And we're redoing a total refurb on the tank down here inside and out, and they've ran into some major, well, not major, but some pitting inside and out, maybe a couple of bullet holes on the outside they got to weld up, but they should be through within the next 1 to 2 weeks. And they're going to be fully restored and painted. And also, I've asked for 3 pieces of equipment. One's a Vactron trailer that is pretty much what we're going to be doing. We're under a program for lead copper rule we got to do by October of this year. Every city in the United States has to do this because of Flint, Michigan's problem on the lead. And we do not have any lead pipe. We have galvanized, but we have to. This machine is going to be like a mechanical post hole digger to go and inspect behind the meter and in front of the meter, and we've got to do that according to the state. And I'm taking the Vactron out, which was, you can see the price was $54,310, $62 from the water. Also, I'm replacing a backhoe that's 1993 model. That is $124,833.75. And update replacing a Kubota, a Case Mini X with a Kubota for $50,166.74. And the gas prices stayed at 65 cents for the month of April.
I'm sorry, was you going to say something? I thought you were going to say something else.
No, that's it. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Muffins.
Thank you.
Next, fire, okay, you did make it. I'll say so. Eric, Lieutenant C, Chief Jones, Mr. Mayfield's not here tonight. We had a little pile up out there on 64. I don't know if anybody was out west a few minutes ago, but I thought a world was going to come to an end out there. So, but he was just a few minutes ago.
I actually thought I got out of this tonight because of that.
But he's standing in for Chief Price tonight. Go ahead.
All right. Last month we had a total of 29 calls, 6 total structure fires, 3 in the city, 3 in the county, 2 vehicle fires in the county, 2 MVAs, city, 2 in the county, for a total of 4. Had total of 5 fire alarms, 4 in the city, 1 in the county. Other alarm calls, or other calls, we had 8 in the city, 2 in the county. Other calls can be anywhere from mutual aid to EMS assist, that kind of thing. We had a total of 186 training hours last month. We installed 5 smoke detectors, done 16 inspections, and attended 6 public relation events.
All right, thank you, Mr. C. All right. Next, Police Chief Jones.
Good evening. My report is as follows. Total cost of service, $520, can't see. $160 3 citations, 11 accidents, 2 with injury, 9 property damage, 32 arrests, 2 of them were juveniles, 30 were adults. Special events, we participated in Easter egg hunt at the elementary school. We also cooked for the groundbreaking of all innovation, and we also cooked for Easter egg hunt at the ball field on the 30th. Total training hours, 257. I have one more thing I need to take care of today. We, fire department started several years ago giving an award, the Lifesavers Award, and I did get Chief Price's blessing for us to do the same thing. This award is for one of our dispatchers. There was a 911 call after the patient got transported to the med. The med got backed up. The patient needed to go to Vanderbilt. Because of the dispatcher, she continually called the hospital, finally got her transported. And from my understanding, her prognosis ain't turned out real well. I'm on the back end of this story, so right now I'm going to ask Captain Burking to come up to finish the story, and then he will present the award to the young lady that has the award.
Thank you, Chief. You're welcome. Larry, you might miss your wrestling tonight.
You got 3 minutes there.
Keep it quick. So April the 4th, January the 4th, my phone rang. It was early, before 5 a.m., which is not uncommon. Usually on call a lot. But this was a good friend of mine, Megan. I've known Megan for years. We also went to Lambeth together, even though she was a Fed Academy, but she's still a Bolivar, born and raised. And go to church with her mother, Beth, and, her sisters, Ashley, Heather. Think a lot about the family. I will tell you this, as working security and on the Greek committee at our church, get to see Beth every morning with them grandbabies coming in, and her smile is just, lights up the room. But Megan called me just before 5 a.m. on the 4th and was, really upset, saying that she couldn't get an ambulance, and just was hysterical. So trying to, figure out, of course, in that type of moment, of course everybody's worked up, especially when it's your loved one. But her mom had a brain aneurysm here in Bolivar. They live over here in the country club. And when they called 911, I believe Heather was at the house with her. The dispatcher answer was Crystal Strickland, and very professional, and got an ambulance immediately, very, very quickly. So just great job. Got her to Jackson General, where pretty much they gave little to no hope. At even one point told the daughter, just go spend time with your mom. She's probably not gonna make it. So they didn't want to hear that, of course, knowing brain aneurysms, time is of the essence. And they pretty much told her, we're short on ambulances, we're short on staff, go spend time with your mom. And that's when she called me. So I was thinking it was, our ambulance is short, is what I had in my head. And also it was early in the morning, but I called dispatch and Crystal answered, and was amazing. So amazing. She got Troy Dempsey with EMS on the phone, and she was trying to get Bolivar to go back up to Jackson General, Bolivar ambulance to go back up there and transport her to Vanderbilt. So she was like, Chris, give me Megan's number. So she didn't have to do that whatsoever, but she just kept going out of her way. She got Megan's number, and she was like, hey, this is what you need to tell the staff, because Jackson General has to request it. They have to request pretty much Hardeman County EMS's help. She can't walk in there and say, well, Hardeman's got an ambulance. I just talked to Captain Burking. It don't work like that. Jackson General has to request it. So she was making sure, like, hey, this is what you need to say. And when they done that, they said, okay, we'll get her an ambulance. So they transported her to Vanderbilt. She was up there for weeks and weeks and weeks, but she is sitting right here, and she is going to make a full recovery. She has experienced several surgeries. I don't know a number or anything. Six surgeries. And she is amazing. Like, she's been, I mean, it is unbelievable, but there is no doubt this would not be possible if it wasn't for Crystal. And a lot of times dispatch don't get recognized. Everybody's quick to say something about police or fire or, recognize. But dispatchers are kind of your unsung heroes. That's our backbone. If you notice, like even in their traumatic event, first thing pop in my mind, what is it? Call dispatch, because they're our lifeline out there in day-to-day activities and what we do. But if you see a dispatcher, think a dispatcher, because their job is tough. You can imagine, as police, everybody say, yeah, we see so much, but imagine what every heart attack, every brain aneurysm, every stroke, every car wreck, all that goes through them. They have to experience that day after day after day. So, Chief Jones, you'll come back up here. Crystal, you mind coming? Mayor, you mind coming?
You stand in front of, you stand in front of me.
Stand in front of me.
Yeah, this is city presenting, he's got it.
Hey,
Have to do
oh, you got
that.
two of them. Let's turn it up so they can read it. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank y'all so much. That's what it's all about. A lot of times, like Burking said, you hear about the bad, but you don't hear about the good. So, thanks for bringing that to us, Chief. Next, Parks and Rec, Mr. Ford. You got a good story to follow it.
No. I'm trying to look away so my voice won't be cracking while I'm giving my report. So, good evening, Council. Good evening, Mayor. Parks and Rec Department reports on the following. The city swimming pool has been drained, and we are cleaning up and testing the equipment to get it ready for the summer. We have put an ad out for potential lifeguards for the summer. Adult exercise line dance class continues on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. Also, pickleball Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays 9 a.m. Our youth basketball league is going well. The 11 through 14-year-old age range. They'll resume gameplay on Wednesday night, and that league will end on the 18th of this month. And lastly, we will begin our registration and our sign-ups for our youth summer golf league on next week. And that concludes our report.
Thank you, Mr. Ford. I'll let y'all know. You can go ahead. We're gonna have the pool open this year. The pool's been hanging by a thread. I don't know, probably about the last 5-6 years, if not longer than that. Hopefully we can make it through this season, but we got a quote to look at getting it repaired, and it's right at $150,000. So just want to put that out there. We're gonna make it through this year, I think. I hope, like I said, but I just want to let y'all know that expense is coming. That it's gonna be a decision that we need to decide if we want to, what we want to do with it. But we're fine now. I just wanted to put that out there so y'all would know. And Curtis first told me, I think it was 20-some thousand, maybe 20 or 30,000, and that's the 150,000. So cost is still going up. All right. Next, streets and sanitation. Oh, he made it. Okay. So his house was right in the middle of that hailstorm, and he called me and said windows and stuff was busted out on his truck and everything. So I'll let y'all know. It just slipped my mind. I think we skipped the reports last month because of the three-way thing, so we didn't bring it up. But y'all know Eddie was retiring in, I guess, was it well, it was April, I think. But March 1st, sorry. Was retired March 1st. I convinced him to stay on, and it's quite a few projects that we got that we're working on between Sand Beach Lake, the ICE building. It's just just a lot of stuff and odds and ends. I'm asking him to sort of help us out on a little bit. So he's moved into a consulting role, I guess you would say, until we get some of these projects caught up. But Mr. Mayfield officially took office as our streets and sanitation superintendent. Was it March 1st? March 1st, yeah. So he's a little bit in now. This is his first meeting, so don't y'all put it to him too hard. And he got a broke car, so.
And we've had all kind of problems. Mr. Mayor.
We'll turn it over to you, Jerry.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, department heads, and public, Jerry Mayfield, Bolivar Street and Sanitation. My report, we started picking up, trash pickup downtown. We started picking up our brush, and we started doing the bulk items this month also. We started our weed eating and mowing, and of course we had 313.97 tons commercial landfill. We had 119.88 tons for a total of 433 ton landfill this past month. And that's all I have at this time.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayfield. We got asphalt. Oh,
I just wanted to commend Mr. Eddie. I appreciate it. Before he retired, he was able to get my speed bumps on Lee Street, so I'm out to
How many years
I like
did
to
it take?
It took several years, but I mean, I have to say, it takes a while. I'm not going but I do want to say thank you. I give people's credit where credit is due. So I just wanted to say thank you. You got big shoes to fill, Mr. Jerry.
He won't let you forget about him either. Well, I will do my
big
best.
shoes to fill,
I know I do.
All right.
Yes, sir.
I know you
And with
came
all
up
y'all's-
doing it, though.
And with all y'all's help, I hope to be able to fill them.
Yes, sir. You came up doing it. No problem.
The truck is out picking up, various items this.
Our bulk, yes, sir, it's out picking up bulk items.
Could you send them down through Sycamore?
I believe they were headed that way today, and we ended up getting pulled off for brush because there was an abundant amount of brush in drains, and we had to get those drains cleared before this rain came. Was the priority on that. So yes, we'll get back on the bulk items and try to get them picked up as quick as possible.
Even on those dead-end strips?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Quite a bit of stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We've got quite a few notes on it. Yes, sir. Thank you.
all right, stay right there, Jerry. I'm going where you at. Asphalt bids, we got two. I'll say this, I done had a ton of calls. The pothole in front of Tractor Supply is T-Dot, okay? I've hit it too. That's a state highway, so I just let y'all know I done hit it 3 or 4 times myself. But that's not a city street, so T-Dot does that, so just wanted to put that out there. All right, we got 2 asphalt bids, and we do what I think we got 150,000 in the budget for asphalt, and we just do it until it's out. So first one is from A&W. Let's see, $124.50 a ton, prep clean tack coat, 1.5 inches of hot mix with a 1-year warranty on them. And the next one here is from Fowler Paving. Fowler Paving asphalt, $135 per ton. So we got 2 here, one from Fowler Pavement for $135, one from A&W for $124.50. Yeah.
Are they doing the same thing?
Yeah, they both the same.
Have we used either of these in the past?
Yeah, we've used both of them. Fowler Pavement usually last year, I think, last year.
Yeah.
They want down Lafayette Street.
Yes.
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 Okay.
And we've used A&W, I think, was it maybe 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we've used both of them.
Mr. Mayor, I'm gonna make a motion that we accept the bid for Fowler because our experience with A&W has been less than satisfactory in years past.
I got a motion for Fowler Pavement. Is there a second?
I second.
I have a motion for a second. If you would, cast your votes.
Wait a minute, can I?
Oh, sorry.
I
We got
just had a
discussed-
question. You
Okay.
said that we've used A&W in the past and we have not been happy with them? Is that been the experience? I mean, I just got on here, so I don't know what that means. Can somebody elaborate?
Yeah, last, let's see, was it 2 years ago? Was it two? Yeah, they, with the speed bumps, and we had speed bumps issues, and some of the issues that they didn't finish some of the, I think, how much was it, 40,000 worth that they didn't finish.
Oh, okay.
That's a lot out of 150.
Yeah. And speed bumps were done too
So
high.
we don't wanna use them? I'm telling you, I mean, I listen to the experts.
Well,
Whatever Eddie said.
Miss Carlisle ain't got a vote there.
Well, say you retired.
But he's a consultant.
So you actually are consultant. Oh, there any other questions or comments? No? All right.
We like to say one or the other, don't we? Name wise?
Well, now the motion is up, so you'll vote it up or down, yeah.
Okay, she said,
She made a motion
Miss
for
Fowler,
Fowler,
okay, okay,
yeah.
I'm sorry,
So
my
if you
bad.
don't wanna go with Fowler, you'll vote
I
no.
got you.
You need to.
I was just wondering, okay. Okay, they're from Jackson. Okay, nobody's from Bolivar.
No, this is,
Okay, so I would've said we're gonna go with whoever's from Bolivar, first choice. But since neither one is from Bolivar, I guess it don't matter.
all right, we got a motion of second on the floor for Fowler payment. If you would, cast your votes.
I'm gonna have to move.
Just vote for me.
You want mine?
There you go.
All right, motion passed. So we'll start, they'll have it, we usually do that in the end, around June, but whenever they come back, here you go. All right, Jay, you can sit down now.
thank you. I do appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for bearing with me.
It wasn't that bad. All right, next library, Ms. Phillips. Did I skip something?
Good afternoon, Council and Mayor. The month of March in revenue, we took in $1,142.50. We had a total of 12 programs with 56 participant in live programs, 133 in passive programs. Circulation report, 1,955 materials circulated. We had 322 computer users, 3,070 Wi-Fi users, 643 reads. We had 23 history room visits, 19 microfilm usage, 42 history room materials circulated, 23 interlibraries borrowed, and 10 interlibraries loaned.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Jessica.
Thank you.
Next is compliance and zoning, Mr. Watkins.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. You should have my copy of my report. Building consultations 8, building permits written 5, building inspections 3, plumbing inspections 2, mechanical inspections 12, courtesy notices issued 20. I was hoping to have some news for you tonight about a couple of those on the revitalization list, since we chose not to call it the slum list. But still waiting some word back from two different folks that are, one's out of town, the other we're trying to figure out about the nursing home connection. If y'all remember, we were talking about that. So I'm still working on it, but we hadn't forgot you. Hopefully by next month we'll be able to move forward with some of that.
Thank you, Mr. Watkins. Next, tourism, community development, Mr. Hill.
Good evening, Council, Mayor. Just a few things on our list from this past month. We attended the groundbreaking ceremony for Wall Innovations, and that was a great event. And thanks for everybody that helped put that on. And I think it's a great thing for our city and our county, and looking forward to working with Kip and his crew. We assisted with the elementary school Easter egg hunt, and we also hosted a community-wide Easter egg hunt on Highway 64 at those ball fields in conjunction with First Baptist and Hyman Tire. You should have 2 invitations there from us about 2 events for this month at the Louise. We've got Doug Stone in concert on April, help me with that date. 18th, that the mayor has tickets for if you're interested in that one. And then the Bethel Renaissance Choir from Bethel University. That's a very hard group to book. We reached out to them last September, trying to get them for the Christmas festival, and they book well in advance, and just happened to have a cancellation for this month, and so we told them, yeah, sure, you can come. So they're going to be here the 21st, I think. Is that the right date on that? So the mayor will have tickets for that as well in the balcony for any of you that would like to hear them. And from my understanding, they are phenomenal. So we would love for you guys to come out and enjoy them as well.
All right. Good
Thank you, Mr. Hill. Next, historic zoning, Ms. Miller.
So we had the first meeting that I've attended since I've been on this commission. And just so you know, we are actually looking for members. If anyone is interested in joining the Historic Zoning Commission, we've had some people move, retire, and we have a few spots. And if you're interested, just contact City Hall, Carrie Beth and them, and they can get information to me or Brad Grantham. We only meet once a quarter unless something is going on. But if you're interested in history and all that kind of stuff, I think it's going to be fun. We discussed having an annual training. I think Michael Miller said that in the past, the state has come down and done something, and so we're going to hopefully be able to do that again soon. We discussed working with Ricky Watkins on the condition of Magnolia Manor, which is on Main Street there. I'm not sure, something about some cars and things or whatever. Devco is in the process of replacing awnings in the downtown area as well. I, of course, brought up my desire that we would do something to honor and preserve the history of the East End district, from East Side Market, Sunrise, American Legion, to do something to preserve it and note its historical significance. And so we're working on doing something with that. Other than that, that's it.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Miller. That concludes standing committee reports. Now we move on to old business. Public meeting for THDA home grant. This is the date y'all been waiting for. Let's see, April the 16th at 9 and April the 22nd at 6 p.m. So everyone that's been calling, we probably got hundreds of calls about the housing grant. So that will be April. We're doing two. We only required to do one, but we're doing two. April, y'all got me? April 16th at 9 and April the 22nd at 6 p.m. So anybody that's been waiting, I know Councilman Golden had a lot of people call him too. Anybody that's been waiting on those dates, this is for the grant that we received from the Tennessee Housing Authority to remodel homes in Bolivar. So
It's gonna be here?
meeting will be here in the community. We'll probably do it. I don't know if we do it here at the community. Just come here. We'll show you where we're meeting it. So April the 16th at 9 a.m. and April the 22nd at 6 p.m. So y'all please tell everyone to come out. And what this meeting will serve as the some representative from Southwest and the state will be coming and talking about the application process, how to fill it out, where to go, how much you can get, and all this stuff. So any questions that you will ask, because we haven't been answering any of them, and the selection process will go through them. We will not pick it locally, so we'll go through them. So if there's anybody that's interested, please make sure y'all get those dates out to them. I'm gonna try to get on the radio, put it in the newspaper. I think it's already in the newspaper. It'll be in the newspaper this week. So the 16th at 9 and the 22nd at 6 p.m.
Give me the meeting place again.
here at City Hall. Okay.
Do we know what the amounts are, Mayor?
No, well, it'll be based on each house. So the total grant is $500,000. It's $500,000. Yeah.
That's just for Bolivar?
Yes, just for citizens of Bolivar and the city limits of Bolivar. So if you're in the county, then.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And originally, last time we did this, it was only just like 2 streets on East End, I think, 2 or 3 streets on East End. But I didn't like that, just putting it on 1 or 2 streets because there's more house. It's people that need help on more than 2 streets, so we open it up to the corporate, ma'am.
I said, that's a fact.
We open it up to the corporate limits of Bolivar. All right, any questions on that? All right, moving on to new business, resolution 2024-003, the authorizing the issues of capital outlay note series of 2024 for police vehicles. This is what we approved to send to the comptroller last month, I think, for the cars. Now, now that they said we can do it, now we got to pass a resolution saying that we want to do it, if that makes any sense, but that's what this is. Any questions on this resolution? All right, is there a motion to approve, resolution 2024-003? Motion by Mr. McKinney, is there a second? Second by Mr. Lau, if you will, cast your votes. Should give it to me, I'll start voting for you now. What you want, yes or no?
Let me think. I guess yes.
Motion carried. Next resolution, 2024-004, authorization to submit application to Tennessee Department of Economic and Community Development Site Development Grant Program. What this is this is for the ICE building, and we did a site. We've done multiple site development grants through ECD for industrial recruitment and economic development. And what this is for a $1 million renovation on the building for electrical. And if I haven't had the opportunity, if any of the council members want to go and look at the building, it's really a steal. I mean, that we've got in that building. But the electrical panels were cut out, like one of the person that broke in there is not laying on the floor dead, but they cut the electrical panels for copper. So they probably did $200,000-$300,000 worth of damage for what? A couple $100 worth of copper. Yeah, so, but this is to upgrade that. We'll reinstall the electrical as well as upgrade all the lighting to LED, do some insulation, and do some spot repairs on the floor. So out of this $1.5 million, we would only be responsible for $26,000. So $26,000 would get us $1 million worth of repairs. So.
You think we put security camera or something out there?
Yeah,
so
well,
that won't happen again?
we got it secured now. The
Oh,
building
you
was
got it
just,
now?
we've
Okay.
got it locked and secured, but the building was, I mean, the door was just open, so anybody could go out there.
Yeah.
But now it's locked and secure now, so we're applying for this grant. And I will tell you, we've had multiple prospects already, call, look at the building, so I've taken quite a few companies down there to look at it, so, and they all.
And I just wanna make sure, so we are going to get a factory or something to come in. This is not gonna be, where we're gonna just resell this building to someone here.
I will
Cause
tell
I've
you-
heard some people that wanna buy it.
Oh yeah, I've had tons of offers of people wanting to buy. As far as I'm concerned, I will hope the council will support me in this. I have zero intentions whatsoever of ever selling the building, even to an industry. Way most deals work in the industry, you lease the property to them and give them some type of pilot. But it would be wise of this council and the industrial board to hold on to that property, because if once you sell it, we lose all the collateral in it. But yeah, but to your point, yes, I've had multiple people call me and make offers on it, and I tell all of them that I'm personally not interested in selling.
Thank you.
So, but I would hope, like I said, I hope the council will stay on that same path, because we went from not having many prospects at all to having a lot. It's just hard to find a building. It's 75,000 square foot. And to build that building, you would be out of millions of dollars to build that size building in today's world of cost of construction.
I'll make a motion, we approve resolution 2024-004.
I second.
I have a motion by Mr. McKinney, second by Ms. Miller. If you would, cast your votes. Don't be a vote for it.
Please.
Watch how easy it is.
Okay.
Just give me your vote now. Deal. Motion carried. I think that's a good idea.
You've been trying to hold on to this for a long time.
Resolution 2024-005, adopting the Hardeman County Mitigation Plan. This is coming from Don Taylor and the Hardeman County mediation team. So they go through all these different resolutions. They've submitted it to TEMA in the event of an emergency, what our mitigation plan will be. And all of the cities and all the municipalities in the county ask to pass this resolution. Okay, we have a motion, by Mr. Williams, a second by Mr. Woods. Any other, did you have a question?
No,
Okay.
go ahead, I'm sorry.
If you would, cast your vote.
Okay, let me try.
You tried it. Look at you.
I think I need to sit more closer this way. I think that's what it is.
Motion carried. You need to consult me before you vote. I am. All right, next we have the board appointment, reappointing Stacy Lifford to our Hardeman County Board of Equalization. We have a letter here from Mr. Pulse. We have to, the city, we get an appointment to that board for a 2-year appointment, and they have to go through training, and she's already went through it, and she serves on it now. We're asking to reappoint her for another 2-year term. It's the Hardeman County Board of Equalization, so when they go through rezoning and it's, well, I'm sorry, not rezoning, when someone gets ready to, property taxes, if they have an issue with their assessment through the county, they can go to this board to appeal it if they have a disagreement with it before it goes to the state board. And we have an appointment to that board to represent Bolivar.
I make that motion, Mayor.
All right, I have a motion by Ms. Ray. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Williams. If you would, cast your vote.
Let's try this again. Let's see. I did two in a row.
Look at you go. You on fire now. On this.
From that angle.
Before the.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, motion carried. Go
I
ahead.
mean, I done voted now. How many minorities is on there, on that board?
That's a county board. I couldn't tell you. I'll ask.
If you can check it so I can know, we know next time we appoint somebody, I wanna make sure we, two? Oh, you on there? Oh, okay. All right, thank you, sir.
Well,
Thank you.
And I guess your county appointment.
Okay, all right, thank you.
See how quick I got that answer?
Yeah, that was real quick.
Thank you, Uncle Leo.
Like you voted there.
Is there anything else? If not, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion, Mr. McKinney. Is there a second? Second, Mr. Woods. All right, we can just go. You ain't gotta worry about that vote.
oh, I know.
Just get her.
No.